Welcome to the Sunday Reach by Dominicans, India. God and Caesar. Can we escape from either of them? It is easy to escape from one of them and embrace the other. The greatest struggle and challenge in life is to examine constantly how much do I owe to God and owe to Caesar. In answering the question, is it lawful to pay taxes to Caesar, Jesus asks for a coin, an itinerant preacher as he may not have had a coin since all his needs were met by people. But the disciples of Pharisees had a coin. To have a coin with an inscription of emperor's image and seal would be equal to idolatry for Jews. Yet they carried such a coin and used it for economic transaction. They were enjoying the privileges of having a coin with the image of Caesar in it. Jesus indirectly pointed out that even Jews could not keep themselves away from using a coin with an image of Caesar in it. The Jews wanted to trap Jesus either to reduce his popularity among the masses if he agrees to pay taxes, for people considered paying taxes to Caesar would be like siding with the Romans. If he does not agree to pay the tax, then they could conspire to have Jesus been arrested for inciting revolution, as in the case of Zealots, the revolutionaries of Jewish religion. Jesus does not go with the popular perception of Jews who considered having an image of Caesar on coin would amount to idolatry and allegiance to Caesar. Rather, he indicates that a secular authority too has a place in God's plan. Today's first reading underlines this plan of God. God called Cyrus, a Gentile king, as his anointed one, even though the king himself was not aware of this calling. St. Paul reiterates this insight in Romans chapter 13:1. Let every person be subject to the governing authorities. St. Peter also gives an exhortation on this matter. Be subject for the Lord's sake to every human institution, whether it be to the emperor as supreme or to governors as sent by him. 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 13. Further, the earth and all it contains belong to the Lord. Psalm number 24:1. Therefore, God is to be given the ultimate obedience, and to the king what is due to him. St. Thomas More's famous maxim, the king's good servant, but God's first, is the correct attitude we need to inculcate within us. To be a good citizen and to serve God are not in contradiction, since God works through all human systems and institutions to build the final community of love. What happens when an earthly authority goes against God's plan and his sovereign rule? God has asked to be mindful of the poor, orphans, and widows. God hates injustice and exploitation. As faithful ones of God, his emissaries, we may have to stand up against the earthly authorities if they become perpetrators of injustice and exploitation, as has been done by so many committed Christians down the centuries in all countries to our own times, as is seen in the case of Father Stan Swami, a brave person who worked for the emancipation of the underprivileged and the exploited. When we disregard Caesar for the sake of faithfulness to God and for the sake of conscience, we owe it to God to ensure whatever standing for the truth costs us in terms of pain or social pressure or fines or prison or even death. We owe it to God to bear faithfully the cost of being faithful, whatever that cost might be. At a time when sexual harassment in workplaces were concealed for the fear of social taboo, Anita Faye Hill, an American lawyer and academic, chose to speak truth to the power of sexual harassment at the hand of U.S. Supreme Court nominee Clarence Thomas in 1991. She had to face the selective and merciless anger of a portion of a public at that time. But today, women in America can stand bravely and bring to justice the perpetrators of such dehumanizing behavior. Conversion is the key to successful blending of giving what is due to God and to Caesar. If Caesars are not for the people but for themselves and become source of corruption, injustice and exploitation, they need to convert to the plan of God that vested them with such great power. Then they will have a people obeying them without any resentment. If we, the people, are not able to understand the sovereignty of God but go on swaying like reeds, indeterminate about our priorities and loyalties, we need to convert ourselves to the living God who is the Lord of all. If our life is turned towards God, then we will be able to discern His plan for us and be able to understand how much we need to pay to the Caesars and how much we need to resist the unjust advances of them.